Do you work at an SME and are you interested in using the digital commons? Then this website is for you. It's a digital intervention created by computational social science students at the University of Amsterdam in collaboration with the Internet Society Netherlands and the Open Systems Foundation. Our core problem is that the digital economy is heavily monopolized, leaving European governments and businesses dependent on closed proprietary software. Our main stakeholders and target audience, small and medium enterprises, need to understand the value of migrating to shared open source infrastructure we know as the digital commons. This website is a digital playbook that gives these SMEs actionable steps to make the switch. We designed it with clear, scannable layouts and interactive tools to reduce the cognitive load for busy decision makers, making the transition to the commons feel both urgent and highly actionable. As you can see, the website has a green color scheme to showcase the sustainability aspect of the website. The idea of working with digital commons fits in the broader idea of a reusable, collectively created online atmosphere. On our homepage, we have added some explanation to the digital commons. We also added a lot of buttons that lead to other pages that are connected to that paragraph. This means that the user can immediately get to the page they want more information on. So, if I would be interested in assessing my dependency on the commons, I would click here. Realizing the current dependency on open source could be the first step in moving to a more open model. On this page, we build a software composition analysis tool. From a user perspective, they simply paste a public GitHub repository link and click the button. However, the backend process does a little more. When I clicked Analyze, the front end sends a request to our Flask backend. The server then uses the GitHub API to extract all of the dependencies the repository uses and generates a software bill of materials, or SBOM. Then, using the Kokomo 2 mathematical model, the backend calculates the estimated total monetary value of the open source code the repository relies on and displays this to the user, along with the value of each open source dependency. The contributions Gini Index of the repository is also calculated and displayed. This value represents the concentration of commits to a repository, with a value of 0 representing perfect equality, meaning multiple contributors made an equal number of commits, while a value of 1 represents total inequality, meaning one contributor made all of the commits. This directly addresses stakeholder needs as business leaders speak in numbers and return on investment. By putting a tangible dollar amount on the free value they extract from the commons, we effectively reveal the hidden cost of free ridership and incentivize them to contribute back. However, the tool is not only there for that purpose. As we discovered from our focus group with different software engineers, a tool like this is very useful to discover what open source dependencies you are importing to your project. Once stakeholders understand their dependency, they need a path forward. On the cases page, we have highlighted some cases of projects in the commons. Some of these you might already use. Some of them can give you insights in making the switch to open source. For example, React is a framework that was first created as an internal project at Meta, but was later open sourced. Now it has grown to be one of the most widely used frameworks on the internet. If you click on a card, you can see a key insight that can be relevant for your SME. Clicking on this one, for example, shows that moving a project into the commons can be used as a magnet for external contribution and talents. The transition page is the most actionable of the pages. It gives information about how to make the switch to open source effectively. We utilized an interactive bento box design. Rather than overwhelming users with walls of text, information is hidden behind interactive triggers. For example, hovering over these 5 steps changes the text in the card on the right. One of the big choices in going open source is choosing the right license. That is why we have chosen to show 5 different license types the user can choose from. These are framed around primary business goals to make it as easy as possible to choose from them. If the user needs more help, we added a button to an external license wizard created by choosingalicense.com that guides them through a few questions and recommends the right license for their use. And finally, we have the assessment tool. This is a live agent-based model, or ABM, running entirely in the browser using JavaScript and Chart.js. The simulation answers a critical policy question. How much financial incentive does it take for firms to stop free riding? We grounded this tool in rigorous academic theory, combining Olson's logic of collective action with Ostrom's governance principles. The simulation runs 300 simulated SME agents, and each step lets them decide whether to contribute or not. The model includes two independent levers. The first is the aforementioned contributions Gini Index, which sets how costly contributing is. A higher Gini means a more concentrated and gatekept project. Each agent draws its personal cost from a normal distribution based on this Gini Index via a Box-Muller transform. The second lever is governance quality. This works the other way. It raises the payoff of contributing instead of lowering the cost. The model assumes firms only contribute when their payoff, which is the incentive, plus the growing value of the commons, plus governance, beats their own cost. Each round, a random 10% of firms reconsider, and the model monitors when the project crosses the 50% tipping point, a contributing majority. Above this, you can choose from the same 5 license types as in the transition page. Each license automatically moves the governance level as the amount of governance is built into the license. For the Gini Index, you can manually change the slider based on the outputs of the dependency analysis right away. But you could also choose one of the 90 GitHub repositories from our dataset, or plug in your own GitHub repository. After you run the simulation, it gives you a single number. This is the minimum incentive needed to tip the project to a contributing majority. Here, a number of 0 means the commons already sustain itself and no outside incentive is needed. The label out of reach means that no incentive up to the cap of 4 gets you to the tipping point. If this is your output, better governance might help close this gap. In the graph, we show the simulation over time. The green line is the firms that contribute. The pink line is the free riders, and the dashed line marks the 50% tipping point, so you can see the exact point it crosses that line. This tool is most useful for policymakers, as it lays out the levers they can pull, such as tax credits and choosing the right license. It shows that better governance, like choosing the right license, is usually cheaper than paying for the same result. In the bus factor matrix, we show all 90 repositories we analyzed. This highlights the importance of having multiple people contributing to the repository, but keeping a core team to lead the project, as we see most active repositories living in the top left of the graph. The top right is a risky area, as only 1 or 2 people carry this project. If they leave, the project stalls. In summary, this website bridges the gap between abstract open source theory and practical organizational change by combining frictionless front-end design with robust data analysis and live simulations. We empower SMEs to build a more sustainable, autonomous digital future. Thanks for watching.